We just want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing to our mom. My mom, no, your mom.
Yeah.
She's got 200,000 subscribers, and we just want to thank everyone for subscribing and watching and commenting and all the, wonderful emails and communication. It just means a lot. We're so proud of Mama.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it.
Here's to 200,000 more.
That's right.
Thank you for helping us get to 200,000 subscribers, and thank you for helping us celebrate Appalachia.
Thank you for celebrating Appalachia with us. I'm wearing my Christmas sweater. I love to make sweaters for my family for Christmas. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I can't believe I was invited to this award show. It's all about Mom. We're so thankful to each and every last one of you for supporting Mom, watching our videos, hanging out with us, coming along with us. We thank you for everything that you do. And since this will probably air around Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Since our lives are filled with music, we wanted to share a song with you as part of our wonderful celebration for reaching this great milestone. Katie, you want to tell us about the song? This is one Katie wrote. Katie original.
That's pretty much it. Katie original. And I named it Ruby after a little doggy that we used to have. That predated Olive by several years.
Ruby in the Kitchen?
Yep.
You can find this song, if you like it, after you hear it, you can find it on the Presley Girls CD, and we'll put that link in the description below.
That's it.
Yeah. 200,000 subscribers. I can hardly believe it. I am so honored. I'm so humbled. I'm so pleased that many people, 200,000 people, have actually clicked that little subscribe button to help me with this endeavor. What is my endeavor? Well, I actually started it way back in 2008, a long time before the Celebrating Appalachia channel had actually come to fruition. It was when I started my blog, Blind Pig in the Acorn. And my endeavor from that point till now was always the same thing. It's always been the same thing. It's not changed. Is to celebrate and preserve the wonderful heritage and culture of Appalachia, to kind of shine a light on our culture, to show that it's a really wonderful place. Yes, Appalachia has its problems just like every other place in the world, but it also has wonderful, glorious beauty and people that live there. I'm so grateful for everyone that watches my videos. Of course, I'm grateful because you're supporting me. You're supporting me and my family. You're helping me do every day, get up and be able to live my dream job, which is to do that endeavor, is to really fulfill it in a meaningful way. So I'm so thankful for that. But I'm also thankful for all the wonderful stories you share, stories of your family who were from Appalachia. Also stories of maybe ancestors that you never even knew, but you discovered as you researched that they come from this area. And then kind of some of the family things, whether it was food, language, music, all those things kind of started to make sense to you when you realized where they come from. To the people that just wish they could visit Appalachia, whatever it is that draws you to this place, I am so thankful for you, for each one of you. The growth of this channel has really been phenomenal. It's hard to believe. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I believe one of them is that I have been a blogger for so many years, since 2008, so I kind of already had a big push behind me. So I'm so grateful to the people that follow me on the Blind Pig and the Acorn too. I think they're part of the reason that the Celebrating Appalachia channel has grown and done so well, so I'm really grateful for that. But also there's another reason. I think that people are really searching for, like I was saying, all those people that share the stories of their childhood, of their parents, of their grandparents with me. I think they're really searching for someone who identifies with them, but who also celebrate those simple things that are just wonderful, whether it is that tight family culture that Appalachia is known for, whether it's the music or the wonderful simple food, soup, beans, and cornbread, and fried taters and ramps, all those things. I think it gives a voice to them, a voice to people who have lived this life, whether it was their personal life or maybe through their ancestors, through their grandparents they visited once a year, their aunts and uncles, all those different things, their neighbors that they moved in next to. And it gives voice to that it is a wonderful, wonderful lifestyle. So I think that's another reason that the channel has been so successful. And maybe a third reason is just in today's world that it is for people who value family, who value those kind of things, a simple living. It's also an outlet for them to maybe they're from a different part of the country, but they still value that tight-knit family and the simple living that we try to do here. And so many of you have reached out to me and told me that you not only visit to help me, because you know that helps, that while you're here, you take the time to click the little thumbs up. You've made sure that you're subscribed. You also share it with your family and friends. Maybe you share some of my videos on your Facebook page or in an email to an old friend you used to have or something like that. And I really, really appreciate you for doing that. That's how the channel, how it grows. In addition to those ways I mentioned, that also helps me. A lot of my viewers, they come from just who, if you're a YouTube watcher, then when you go to that home page, there's just different things there. A lot of times it's kind of tailored to what you watch, so that if you watch a lot of homesteaders, there'll be some of your favorite homesteaders there. If you watch a lot of music, there's going to be a lot of your favorite musicians there. But they'll also be just recommended people, so they think, well, you liked this, you might like this. So when you subscribe, make sure that you're subscribed, please. And when you give me the little thumbs up, and when you comment, all those things gives YouTube information, the algorithm gives it information it needs to kind of recommend me to someone else. They think, oh, well, these, there may be value in this because a lot of people have subscribed. A lot of people are giving this a thumbs up. A lot of people are commenting. A lot of people are sharing it. If you share it with someone else, maybe on your Facebook page or something like that, that link leads back to there. So YouTube sees that. They see someone from outside YouTube is actually linking back to this. So all those things add up to make it to where I'm recommended to other people who maybe have never ever even visited. They don't even know what Celebrating Appalachia is, but I'm recommended to them, and in doing that, maybe they'll watch a video and maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't, maybe they'll never watch another one. But if they do like it and they subscribe and they start giving the little thumbs up and all that, that just helps spread that wonderful love of Celebrating Appalachia further and further across the country, but even across the world. And since that has been my endeavor, I kind of feel like that's my calling in life. That's my calling in life from God. It's silly, might sound silly to some people, but I really think it is, because I believe that Of course, it's my culture and I love it, but I believe there's so many good things in it that it has value, that it's valuable to show other people that our family is a happy family, that there's joy in life, that there's all those things. So that helps my calling be more fulfilled, if that makes sense to you. I truly do believe that, and I truly do appreciate every one of you who tell me that you share, who leave a comment, who subscribe, who give me the little thumbs up, all those kind of things. They really do make a difference, and I really appreciate you. I have these same kind of feelings for the people that read The Blind Pig and the Acorn. I've got people that's been reading what I write every day since way back in 2008. A lot of people maybe somewhere along the way, maybe 2010, 2011, whenever. But I really appreciate them, and I feel the exact same way about them. And every November I have a Thankful November. November's over this year, but every November on the blog I host a series of giveaways just to give back, just to say thank you for being the best blog readers in the entire world, best blog readers in the blogosphere, as people would call it in days gone by. I don't hear that as much today, but when I first started blogging. So I do that as a way to give back. Well, I want to do that same thing since I've reached this wonderful milestone. I want to do that same thing for you. I want to host, I've got some giveaways I'm going to tell you about in a minute, and I'll tell you how to enter for them and how to what they are and why I chose each item. But before I go over that, I want to tell you this too. When I hit 100,000, and I had like some giveaways, and then I also give away some rocks from Corey and Austin's wedding back in March. Both times what happened is, I don't know if spammers out there, they see the giveaway and that kind of encourages them, but both times I've noticed that I had a really increase in spammers. So what spammers do is that they steal my picture so it looks like me, and usually they'll come up with something like they say Celebrating Appalachia, and they put a sneaky period there, or a question mark, or something that you don't really notice, or a dash in between. So it's not exactly Celebrating Appalachia, but it's pretty close. And then they've got my picture. So they steal that. And then they start commenting. They'll come to this video or any of my other videos, and they start replying back to you like they're me. And they say, hey, I have this app, or there's like a WhatsApp, and I need you to text me at this number, all these different crazy things. And then they start doing that to try to entice people to be part of whatever their spam is. Now, as soon as I see them, or someone notifies me that there is one, I report them to YouTube and I block them from the channel. But it's still horrible. I still don't like it. And it doesn't just happen to me. It happens to people all across YouTube, all kinds of people it happens. But it does seem like giveaways kind of trigger them. So I want to go ahead and tell you, if someone in the comments replies back to you and it looks like me, and the person's asking you to like click here or to dial this number on WhatsApp or something like that, it is not me. It's a spammer. I will never ask you to do anything like that. I will never ask you to click on a link. I'm never going to ask you to call me. I do comment back to people. Now, if you say, Tipper, I wish I knew how to make that holy smoke cake that Granny makes, I'll say, okay, here's a link. If you click here, you can go to my blog and see the recipe. So I will leave links like that, but only pertaining to what you ask me. So if it's just a random weird kind of thing that you're like, what does Tipper want? What's she trying to get me to do? It's not me. It's a spammer. So don't even click on them. Don't even worry about them. Just ignore them. And as soon as I notice them, I will take care of them. Another question I wanted to kind of address is, a lot of people have asked me about the 100,000 milestone. That's when you get a button. You get a button from YouTube. It's like kind of like a plaque. I'm sure you've seen them on other channels. I never did get mine. I ordered it and I tracked it, and it made it all the way to Franklin, North Carolina, which is just over the mountain from me, about an hour, maybe a little less than an hour. And then all of a sudden, then when I looked the next day, it said return to sender. And so, of course, I contacted YouTube, and I tried, and I finally give up. And then someone reached out to me about something else from YouTube, so I tried through them, and they give me hope that they were going to figure it out and send it. And I sent all my information again, and they told me they'd let me know when it was mailed. and it was never mailed. And then when I reached back out again, it was just like that was a dead end, and I didn't get anywhere. So I never did get my button. But, and in one way I wish I had, of course, because I earned it. You helped me earn it, all of you. But in another way, I'm not as hung up on that as I am just you helping me celebrate Appalachia in the manner that you do. I'm so grateful and so pleased. So for me, that's reward enough. I do wish I kind of had that, but I'm not worried about it. But I know a lot of people have asked me and said I should try to get it. Well, I really did try pretty hard, and I finally just felt like I was wasting my time. So I finally just, I'm not going to try to get it anymore. But to me, you are the button, and I appreciate each of you. Now I'm going to tell you about the wonderful giveaways. So if you watch all my videos and you are subscribed, then you know that a lot of the times I use reference books. I use reference books when I'm cooking. I use reference books when I'm telling stories, lots of different ones. And over the years, on my Thankful November series that I always host on the blog, that's what I like to give away, is I like to give those books that I've actually read and I really care about and I really love. I love to share those with other people. Some of the ones that I love are readily available and you can easily find them, but there's others that are kind of hard to find because they're out of print and no one has ever reprinted them. Well, if you've been watching my videos, you know one of my favorite authors of all time is John Parris. And part of that is because he did such a wonderful job documenting southern Appalachia where I live, primarily western North Carolina where I live. Lots of articles that he wrote about Brasstown and Murphy and Marble, my little surrounding areas, but also all throughout western North Carolina. And he wrote for many years for the Asheville Citizen Times, and his articles are more of not really as much fiction, although some people might say he added a little bit here and there, but mostly documenting different things, whether it was a food process or a culture, like a language or a tradition at Christmas or something like that. And they're just lovely. He just did a wonderful job. And over the years, he took them and put them in book form, and then he sold the books. Well, he sadly passed away, and he didn't have any children. I just recently learned that, so that's probably one reason, is that no one has never reprinted them. There are 2 books in the recent years that a group did reprint, so those are more readily available. But some of those others, like the Mountain Cooking, I use that one a lot. I've had many people tell me that they tried to find it and it's just so expensive, there's no way they could pay for it. So there's lots of different ones like that. I really wish the Asheville Citizen, I guess they own all the rights. I wish they would republish all of them. That would be wonderful. But another one, so that's one of the ones I'm gonna do here to give away. And those a couple of his, and those are more stories. They have some food in them, not really recipes, but more just kind of foodway traditions, think of that, but all kinds of wonderful stories. And he wrote about the Cherokee a lot. They were also, of course, a huge part of western North Carolina, and just daily life, just lots of different things. There's one of them, I don't remember which book it's in, I've got all his books, but even my Uncle Henry Truitt, my great Uncle Henry Truitt is in one of them. So just heartwarming books. The other side, thinking about the food, is I love cookbooks because I love to cook, but I love recipe books that are actually, they have the recipes, but they also kind of have the background information. Even if it's as simple as saying, I learned this from my mama and she cooked this at special times, something that simple. I love those little personal notes. So I'm going to give away 2 books that really mean a lot to me. One of them is Sidney Saylor Farr's More Than Moonshine. That's my favorite Appalachian cookbook because it's really well done. She shares wonderful insight and stories in it, wonderful recipes. And her husband was actually from western North Carolina. She was from Berea, Kentucky. And so some of those recipes are from his family. So I love that, for me, that personal connection to western North Carolina. The other cookbook that I'm going to be giving away, it was published in 2022, so it's a new cookbook, Fishing for Chickens. And it was written by my dear friend, Jim Casada. Jim was born and raised a county or 2 away from me in Swain County. So he grew up nestled there in the Smoky Mountains. And it's just a wonderful food memoir of his life. He has wonderful stories in it about his family, about the foods that they ate, wonderful recipes, but also, really talks about some of the food processes. If you think about sorghum syrup or killing hogs, all those kind of things. So it's just a wonderful book. And although it was just published this year, I know it will go down as being one of those reference books people like me really just turn to over and over as they research foodways of Appalachia, because he lived in the Smoky Mountains, but what he talks about could certainly be true for all of Appalachia. And I know it will become that for those researchers, but I also know it will become a favorite treasured book for many people who are just home cooks and who just really enjoy, like I do, those cookbooks that have the wonderful recipes, but also those wonderful stories that go along with them. So since Jim's book is a current book, it's available, it's just been published in 2022. There's plenty of copies of it. So I'll be sure to link in the description below to his website where you could buy the book, also to a video interview that I did with him, so that you could watch that and hear more about the book and hear more details about it straight from him. Another exciting thing, I can't leave the subject of Jim Casada without talking about, is that he and I are currently working on a joint cookbook project, and it will be out in May of 2023. So we're both really excited about that. And I'll be sure to keep you updated as far as pre-orders and all those kind of things as that time gets closer. So now I'm going to kind of go over the rules of the giveaway. There's really not very many, but kind of just the details. So to be entered, all you need to do is make sure that you're subscribed, that you're actually subscribed to the Celebrating Appalachia channel, and then leave a comment on this post. That's it. That's all you need to do. I'd love it if you shared it with someone, but you don't have to do that. You just have to subscribe and leave a comment. Now the giveaway is going to end on December the 15th, so that gives you about a week from today to actually enter. Giveaway winners will be announced on December 17th. That's a Saturday. And when I announce those winners, I will post that information on the community tab. Now I'm going to put a little graphic right here so that you can see on the channel where the community tab is, so you'll know where to go look and see if you're one of the winners. And then I will just need you to email me your mailing address, and then I will get the book to you. And I will pick 5 names randomly. I like to use the little random number generator and just use it and then count comments and pick that number. So I will do that. And the first book is Roaming the Mountains, and that is a John Parris book. That's one of his books. Another John Parris book is Mountain Bred. Another John Parris book is My Mountains, My People. Then my 2 cookbooks that I'm giving away, kind of cookbook and it's got those wonderful stories that connect, is the Sidney, Saylor, Farr, More Than Moonshine, wonderful, and then Jim Casada, Fishing for Chickens. If you have any questions about any of that, you just ask me in the comments and I will answer them. I can't say thank you enough. Thank you just seems like not really enough to say, but I am so very grateful for all of you who support me, who support my family. Many of you also are subscribed to the Pressley girls, Corey and Katie, my daughters. I thank you for subscribing to them. You're allowing them to be able to really influence people their age by showing them their lives that they lead, also helping them with their music and Katie's business of jewelry, silversmith, and lapidary arts, and all of it. I appreciate you for doing that. And if you've never visited the Pressley girls, I would encourage you to go visit their page and to also their channel. I will put a link in the description below for you to subscribe to them too. We would really greatly appreciate that too. But it's just so many things that, like I said, thank you doesn't seem enough, but I am so very thankful, and I hope that comes through in my videos. I hope that you understand how each of us, me, Corey and Katie, Matt, Austin, Granny, Paul, Miss Cindy, all of us are so very grateful to each of you, and it really does mean the world to us to know that you're willing to help us celebrate Appalachia.